One of the biggest things, and I'd love to get your thought on this, is how do we sell that internally? You talked about leading teams. If teams aren't aligned, doesn't matter. We could have the best documents, we have the best strategy, the C-suite can meet and we can all nod heads and agree. But if the individual teams themselves don't understand, don't agree, aren't motivated by it, see how it impacts their lives, what they're doing today, how does that make it out into the teams?
I am a big fan of Simon Sinek, going back to his very early days and the entire concept of start with why. That video to me really was meant to speak to the external part, like how you communicate your brand to your customers. I took so much of that in how do you communicate internally and how do you bring people together. That's how you do a lot of what you said. Why are we doing all of this work? What are we trying to accomplish? And then consistently reminding people of that. I say all the time from previous experience and a little more on the change management side in a past life, I say 7 times 7 ways. You have to make sure that you are delivering the message in different formats, in different conversations. So the heart of it stays the same, but the kind of mechanisms around it change so it really resonates with people. Just like anything we do in marketing, it needs to be multiple times. So that I think is just as important internally. Every time you're having a big, especially if it's a cross-functional team, check-in meeting, whether it's something you put on, I was going to say the board. So there's something you put up on, at the start of your presentation deck, or you just talk about it every team kickoff or whatever the project is. You keep reminding everyone, why are we doing this work? Usually it is the voice of the customer, right? Or growth, but ultimately I like to think of those two as one and the same. So I think it's that. I think it's it's having a clear why and then continually coming back to that. That can be on the big scale, like a annual goal, or to me that can be and needs to be on the project scale. So it's this thing from this one project that you're working on. What is the why there? And then I think really great leaders help ladder the two together.
So important because we get motivated by understanding the why. And if we really feel like we're making a difference and the team gets it and we're all a part of the solution, internal campaign, internal messaging and reinforcement is something that we sometimes just forget about, quite frankly, right? It's in the priority list of the proactive things that we've got to do every day. It's the kind of thing where it's like, I'll get to that tomorrow, then it's next week, and then it's next month. This internal messaging and internal campaigns, how important is that? If you were just to give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly important. I think it is so critical to the project and its outcomes. And I really think it's so easy. I am guilty myself so many times in getting stuck in the tactics and the details, and you're jumping from meeting to meeting and you want to get really close to the like, okay, we got to do this to get to that end game. But I think anytime you need to help your team make a decision, anytime you need to make a decision, sharing with the group that why, that mission statement around the project, it's going to lead to better outcomes. But as you said, it's also going to lead to like really a rallying of the group working on the project that's going to bring even more innovation to the conversation.